Hi, in this video, let us see about some JSON concepts as well as how we can use the JSON data to be stored into the SQL Server. Okay, before going to that, let us see what is a JSON. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. JSON is a lightweight format for storing and transporting data. Nowadays, we are using all kind of database like RDBMS, that is Relational Database Management System, and NoSQL database like MongoDB and many more. Okay, so in order to have the data common between the databases to store as well as to transport, JSON plays a major role between all the database. That is, let us take some real world scenarios and let us see that one. For example, you would have heard about the REST API calls. What is a REST API? It is also referred to as a RESTful web service, or REST API is based on representational state transfer. Usually, they provide the useful data like weather statistics, exchange rates, cryptocurrency rates, universities present in a certain location, etc. And many more REST API calls are available. Even they are freely available. So, by using those services, we can use them in our software projects and get the data appropriate data in according to our requirement. For example, if you are developing a weather statistics related project in any domain, you can use this weather statistics REST API and get the data. Similarly, for the exchange rate, this is usually used in all the financial sectors. The cryptocurrency, this is the latest trending term, the cryptocurrency. So can we invest in the cryptocurrency rate, how far it will go in the next year, or previous month what the rate was. So like that, all many questions are there. So cryptocurrency is the latest jargon available anywhere. And also for students to study, we need to know what are the universities present in a certain location. So then we can use that REST API as well. So let us just have a few two examples first, and in that, by using one example, how we can get the data as a JSON format and use them in SQL Server. Like that, let us see in this video. Okay, so here the first this is the first REST API call to get the exchange rates. That is https://api.exchangerate-api.com. So these are the version /latest/ here this is the currency. So in case if you have given INR, means that is the Indian currency. So for 1 rupee of Indian currency, what is the, for other currencies, what are the other rates? For example, maybe you can have a look like this. So you will be getting a JSON output in this format. Maybe I can show you in another, in Chrome as well. Okay, one second. Let me open a Chrome browser. One second, let me open a Chrome browser. Okay, so let me take this one, this REST API call, so I can able to get the currency rates. Okay, now I am executing this here. So you will be getting the data in the format of JSON. Okay, so when you look at this, you will be seeing as a confused pattern how to read the JSON properly. So there comes many tools like JSON beautifiers are available. So just in Google search, just do JSON beautifier. Okay, and you will be finding many options. You can find any best option, and what you can do is you can copy the entire data present here and put it here and do the beautify. So you will be getting the beautified JSON output here. Okay, now if you see for this this REST API call, this is providing the output as a JSON format. Using the JSON beautifier, you can able to see the output properly. Okay, so if you see now, this is the these are the terms when we are using the exchange rate API that is given, and Now since I have given /INR, INR is taken as the base currency. That's why in the place of base I am getting INR. Okay, as on today's date. So today's date is June 2. So that's 2021. So that's why it is displaying here. And the time last updated. So this is the time. This is the captured value, and at this time the values are captured. Okay, now these are the rates. So that means it is provided for 1 INR. Other currency rates are given, other currency symbols are given, and its equivalent values are retrieved. So easier, right? So you no need to write any program. Just call this REST API itself and get the data. Okay, so this REST API, it is providing the value in the JSON format, and in the beautification of the JSON format you can easily get the data. Okay, now your turn is how to consume this REST API and use in your SQL Server. That is our target. Okay, so for that we are going to see how we can do that one. Similarly, another REST API call is also there. So like this, you can take any REST API, valid REST API you can take. This is the API to get Bitcoin detail. Okay, now let us take the exchange rate API itself. Okay, now I am showing here, this is the exchange rate API, and as a JSON beautification format in this document it is placed. So each and every day the values may change. So when you execute that one, so the one here it is getting shown is in June 1. So now you have seen for June 2. So depends upon the date you can verify that the values, why the values are changing, because on that particular date the value may or may not change. So that's why you will be seeing the differing value. Okay, now we have to render this JSON in SQL Server. That is, and also we have to we can use that data in SQL Server table as well. Okay, so here so many currency values are present. So you need to decide what are the currency values you require. For our example, I am just taking the INR, USD and GBP. Okay, and one more ID, that is I am using Azure Data Studio for connecting SQL Server. It can be downloaded from this mentioned location. Okay, and then now inside the Azure Data Studio you can connect to any database meaning, for example, you want to have that under master database, you can connect it, or else you can change the database as well. Okay, now in order to in order to communicate with that Win HTTP object and call that one, we have to enable these we have to enable them. That is, in order to communicate any JSON API from the SQL Server, we require OLE automation stored procedure. By default they are disabled by default. Okay, that is, they are not in enable format. So first our thing is, in order to use these things we have to enable that one. So these are the ways to enable. So first show advanced option, then reconfigure that one, and after that this OLE automation procedure has to be enabled first. It is enabled now, and after enabling we can run this set of code. Okay, now let me explain what is given here. Okay, now first I am declaring Win HTTP object as int. An instance of the Win HTTP object is created with the help of sp_oa create procedure. Okay, so here a instance is created. Okay, and for that what we can do is, first let us declare two variables called at Win HTTP object as int, and the second one as at response JSON text as varchar 8000. Okay, so this is the, in this response JSON text only we are going to get the full JSON output. Okay, here we are giving varchar. Let us see why we are using this varchar and how when inserting into the SQL table we need to know if the output is in the form of varchar, what should be the column data type. Okay, so now first we are creating an instance of Win HTTP object with the help of the sp_oa create procedure. Okay, so first exec execute sp_oa create Win HTTP request.5.1 at win HTTP object out. So execute this one. Okay, and then after that what we have to do is we have to call the our REST API call. So for that, SP_OA method procedure open an HTTP connection. So that is this SP_OA method procedure we need to call. It will open an HTTP connection. Our HTTP connection is nothing but the exchange rate API just we have discussed. Okay, so for that we have to use exec SP_OA method add win HTTP object comma open comma null comma get. So since this is supporting the format of get method, we have to specify as get here. Okay, and then we have to specify the exchange rate API, and after that with this win HTTP object we have to send that one. Okay, so first we are creating an instance, right? That instance we have to send, that is we are calling this REST API using this OLE automation procedures all, and then after that we need to get the output, that is now this HTTP request is sent as an input and it will be giving the output as a JSON text. Okay, so that's why we have to write as exec SP_OA method at win HTTP object response text. That is the available is in the response text format, and we are capturing that output in our at response JSON text variable as output. Okay, and after that here we can destroy that one, SP_OA destroy at win HTTP object. Okay, now we got the response text in the format of response JSON text. Okay, and after that first we need to check that whether is it a valid JSON or not. Okay, so the reason is sometimes the call won't be success or something might have happened due to the connectivity error or the slow network, something like that. Usually if the call is perfect means it will be writing the JSON output. In case if something wrong has happened means it won't be returning the proper JSON. Okay, so that's why we have to check the output of the response JSON text first. If it is a proper JSON means we have to check the validity. So proper JSON can be checked by means of isJSON method. Okay, and in case if it is the thing means we can get the rates. Okay, here one thing we need to see, if you check out the output here. Okay, so the rates are present in the rates key. Inside the rates key field you will be having the additional fields like INR, AED, AFN, etc. Okay, now it is in the nested format. Okay, now you need to take the rates means you need to access that as rates.inr means it will provide the INR rate. Rates.usd means it will provide the USD rate. So like that we need to take it out. For, as our example we are going to show only the base currency, date, and then its corresponding USD rate and GBP rate. Okay, that's why we are returning like this. Select INR rates, USD rates, GBP rates from OpenJSON at response JSON text. OpenJSON, what it will do is, here we got the proper JSON. Okay, OpenJSON method, it will we can navigate the entire JSON and we can retrieve the appropriate data with the with format one. Okay, now so when you are using that OpenJSON, this is the syntax you need to follow. That is how many columns you are going to specify. Those much of columns will be there inside with class, inside the with. Similar column name should be present outside as well. Okay, and you have to define that data type. Okay, now I am going to take the INR rate one. That's why I am specifying here as INR rates varchar of 10 and single quote within single quote $.rates.inr. That means it will be referring this one. Rates.inr means it will be referring this one. And similarly, the next one is I want to take the here I am just taking only 3 rates, okay, and then USD rates. So USD rates can be retrieved here, rates.usd. So USD means this one, the last one, okay, USD, okay, and then I want to take GBP means rates.gbp, like that you need to provide. So you should be carefully taking should be carefully taking them. So if it is a nested JSON means you need to iterate properly. Okay, open JSON, it will give the top level JSON only, but if you provide the nested one properly means you can easily take get the column values properly. Now I am taking only the 3 fields, INR rates, USD rates, GBP. Let me execute that one and show you. Okay, now first I have enabled this one, and after that I am declaring the win HTTP object, and I am just running it till here. That is executing the REST API call and getting the output, and using checking the validity of the JSON, and using the open JSON you are going to retrieve few values. Okay, maybe you can make it big also in order to view properly. Okay, so now if I execute till here, okay, till here I can able to see the values here. See, my base currency, I am using the base currency because why I have used the base currency means I am going to take the base currency value as INR. Okay, so that's why I have mentioned the column name as base currency. So for the INR, as on date 2nd June, these are the values. Okay, so like this also you can take out. In case if you want to have only the values means you are just putting this rates.INR, rates.USD like that. But here I want to have all this base currency as on date, INR rate, USD rate, GBP rate. So you need to exactly get that one. Okay, so base currency I am picking it from this column directly. Base INR. Maybe if you see some other example you will be getting more detail. Okay, so I am using USD. Okay, here if you see that one base means, maybe once again you beautify this also. I have opened and beautified this one. Okay, so here since I have given as USD, I am getting the base as USD here. If I give INR, then I will get the base as INR. So this column eventually gives what is the base currency. So that's why it's better to take the base value, base column value from there. Okay, and after that as on date, that is $.date, it is nothing but this date. For this date only the value is going to get retrieved. So I need to put $.date, and after that I should get the USD rate and the GBP rate. That's why I need to iterate as rates.USD, rates.GBP, like that. Okay, now if you execute this one, we are getting the value directly and seeing here. Okay, now what we can do, one more thing is now you got the data. Here if you see, there is an option to save as the JSON as well. I have already stored, so I will just tell you, you've got the value here, and if you click on this one, you will be getting a window to store the results as a JSON format, and you need to specify the exact location and also the file name. Okay, now I already stored a value in the in this folder. Okay, now in order to get the JSON value and store into the SQL Server table, we can follow this approach. This we can also say as import the JSON data into the SQL Server. Okay, this also we can see. Okay, now let me show this one, maybe if you want. So if you see, this one means this is the JSON I want to use. Okay, this is the JSON as on June 1. Okay, this JSON data can be used with this syntax, okay, by using a single CLOB, and after that we can store into a SQL Server table. Okay, so that is the way to get the entire JSON is either as a single CLOB or a difference is also there. That is, you want to store the JSON as varchar max. That means you need to use it as single CLOB in case. This is the important thing. Single CLOB means which reads a file as varchar max. Single nclob means which reads a file as nvarchar max. Single blob means which reads the file as var binary max. Okay. So now just you want to have the varchar max. That's why I can have the column type as single CLOB. Then you can ask, what is the difference between this single CLOB and single nclob? What is the difference between varchar and nvarchar? In case if your data is in non-English non-English text, like Japanese one, Chinese one, means that time you need to definitely go for this nvarchar. So in those time what we can do is, instead of single CLOB we can have as single nclob. Okay, and if it is a binary, var binary format means single blob also can be given. But now it is a plain English text, so it is better we can go for the single CLOB itself. Okay. And here first I am declaring a variable. Okay, if it since we are using single CLOB, I am using as varchar max. Okay, and this is the syntax. In that JSON, what I am doing is using the open row set. I am reading the entire JSON as a single CLOB pattern. And if it is a valid JSON means, what once again I am doing is I am taking all those values. Okay, that is taking all those values and putting into the exchange rates table. This is the name of the table available in SQL Server now. So what will happen is, here we have 5 keys. These 5 keys are getting retrieved. Select base currency as on date, INR rate, USD rate, GBP rate into exchange rates table from open JSON at JSON. That means this JSON, how you have read? By using the bulk column from open row set as single CLOB. So that entire JSON is read and stored into this at JSON variable. And if it is a proper JSON means, we can use by means of this open JSON method, we can read the data and get the data and store into the SQL Server table. Okay, so this is the way to import the data, JSON data into SQL Server. Now I am executing this one, and after that let me do the display of data into the exchange rate table as well. See, now you are seeing the same thing. Maybe okay, so what is the purpose of this means, see, every day exchange rates will be keeping on changing. So when you execute the whole process, okay, when you execute this whole process and store as a JSON and read that JSON and placed into this exchange rate table, means we can write as a what to say, automated procedure one. Okay, automatically a certain time in a day this procedure has to be run, and it will be keeping on retrieving the data from the exchange rate API and populating into that JSON file, and from the JSON file it will be read and stored into the table. So like this all we can do. So automatically we can, as a cron job, it can be written. So for example, you can set this in the morning 9 o'clock or something like that, or afternoon 2 o'clock, like that. This is set to run, and we can get the data and store into the SQL Server table. Okay, so how easy, right? So just we need to understand JSON, or why JSON is very much popular, because it is a method to JSON data is useful for storing and retrieving the data. JSON format. Okay, JSON format is used for storing and retrieving the data. In SQL Server, we have several methods like is JSON to find the validity of the JSON, open JSON, and as well as in the open JSON, how we can just display that, or else how we can able to store into the SQL Server table. Those ways also we have seen here. Okay, so in this way, just modifying your REST API call here and understand what is the output of the REST API call. You can modify the parameters, and you can very well store the values present in the REST API in SQL Server table easily. Okay, so just to give a small demo of how to use the JSON data from the REST API call and storing into the SQL Server, I have prepared this video. Hope you understand the concept here. Just you watch this video, like the video, and also share the video with your friends. It's quite easy to parse, that is to parse to execute any REST API call and retrieve the data and store into the SQL Server table. Hope you understand the concept in this video. So in case of any queries, you just reach out to me. Okay, thank you.